Continental Tire, the smart choice in tires. We are just about set for tip-off, Miami and St. Francis. As Isaiah Wong retakes the floor. There's a change, though, in the starting lineup for Miami. Nigel Pack, the transfer from Kansas State, is out today. He's under the weather, did not practice yesterday. So Miami, for the first time this season, has a different starting five for Jim Larrañaga. Bensley Joseph makes his first career start, and we are underway from inside the Watsco Center, the Red Flash and the Hurricanes. Miami's got Virginia coming up on this court on Tuesday as they try to get to 11-1 on the way there, and the 2-0 lead courtesy of the Nicaraguan sensation Norchad Omier.
One of the challenges for St. Francis will be handling the pressure of Miami's defense. And it is tremendous ball pressure, as you see right there, with Bensley Joseph on the ball.
What do you think this feels like for Mr. Joseph? He's come off the bench 47 straight games, and he gets his name announced, gets the start today, and a nice take from St. Francis's freshman Landon Moore to tie the ball game.
I think he's excited, and I think once he gets a lather up, I think he'll have an impact on this game because he's a very good on-ball defender.
Step back, Wong, short.
The big challenge for St. Francis will be keeping Miami in front, keeping them from scoring easy buckets in transition, keeping them off the free throw line, and getting Josh Cohen right here with the ball, getting him established.
We talked about Cohen in the open. He's a junior from New Jersey. Leads his conference in scoring. He's 11th in the nation at 21.4 points per game. That is helped out by a couple of 40 burgers, including most recently against Hawaii this past Sunday. Landon Moore had the first two, kicks it out for McCabe, and St. Francis jumps in front.
Do not be deceived by this record. The Northeastern Conference plays a lot of what we would call money games, guarantee games. Nobody in their league, except for one team, has a 500 record right now. It's just the nature of non-conference play in the Northeast Conference. This is a good basketball team.
Yep. They were tight with Hawaii into the latter stages of the second half before the Warriors turned it on late. Won that game 90-66. Another three, this time from Moore, and it's short, rebounded by Jordan Miller, who's having one heck of a season, coming off a 25-point game last Saturday. Bensley Joseph to the basket.
See, that's the explosive ability. They don't go to the offensive glass. St. Francis gets back and builds their defense, yet the explosiveness of Joseph allows him to get all the way on a straight line drive.
He's quick, fierce and feisty defender. Gonna be a fun matchup to watch. Cohen and Omier. St. Francis now 1 for 3 from beyond the arc, but the first offensive rebound of the game creates another possession. Pretty good defense by Omier on the drive, and here's Wong the other way. To the corner, Poplar, rebound Omier. And Wong's pass intercepted by Cam Gregory. St. Francis coached by Rob Krimmel, the Red Flash lifer. And that's not exactly what Josh Cohen has faced every game this year, a guy like Omier inside.
Look at Wong come from the weak side. Great anticipation. Oh, I got to tie my shoe after I do that. I mean, come on, they're going to play him straight up, right? So they're relying on some backside help. And that's the way you start the game, and you make an adjustment if you need to.
Landon Moore pulls up and banks it home, his second bucket.
Landon Moore off to a very hot start. Hits a three, gets to the mid-range. Right now, Miami's just playing, you know, looks very casual to me. No sense of urgency yet.
It's early in the game and the day, and that's pretty from Isaiah Wong. Kind of 2/3 of the way through his freshman year when he just kind of started doing that at will.
I think he's so impressive on what he's done in the offseason. He's in incredible physical condition. He's added to his combo skills.
Look out. Omier unable to finish. There was a time not that long ago when Norchad Omier barely knew how to dribble. Not taking it coast to coast himself with a tricky left-handed finish. Joseph the other way. Wong is open. Got it.
Yeah. The long triple is a long rebound that leads to the transition. Isaiah Wong doing a nice job.
I agree with you, Debbie. There's a casualness about the way Miami has approached this first 4.5 minutes, and yet they're up 9-7.
Well, I think there are teams that have what you call the switch, that they can turn it on when they need to.
Cohen going to work on Omier, and that's what he can do.
That's the skill set right there. High off the glass, over that left shoulder. I mean, he's really fun to watch work. He's got excellent footwork, good hands, moves without the ball. He's a very good screener that helps him get post-up position.
Deep three from Poplar won't go. Rebound for Land.
St. Francis would be happy with this pace right here, Evan.
I think they would. They could play Cohen a lot of minutes at this pace. Tough turnaround, won't go. Miller pulls down the miss. Wong in the lane, nicely done.
So smooth. I don't think he's broken a sweat yet.
Got a quick 7 points, 3 of 4 shooting.
Easy. This could be a big game for him. This could be a big number for Isaiah Wong today.
Well, he scored more points in a game than anyone in the ACC this year. He had 36 a week and a half ago against Cornell. Hurricanes had trouble putting the big red away. See if they have the similar difficulty with a red flash today. Omier straight away. Will not go. He's now 1 for 7 from beyond the arc this season.
That is where he likes to shoot the three, in the trail, in the middle third. That's his best opportunity. That's probably where Coach L would give him the green light. I'm not so sure on the wing or on the baseline.
Pretty good ball movement from the red flash. Sets up Landon Moore for 3.
All of Miami's defense was loaded to the strong side. That's why you got to have quick ball reversal. Gets Landon Moore in rhythm.
You're the 3-8 team from the Northeast Conference coming into the U. Pretty pleased with the flow of the start of this game, but the answer from Bensley Joseph.
You asked how he was feeling? That's a confident shooter right there. That is confidence to come down and pull that one. 39%
from threes so far in his Miami career. Joseph making his first career start today. Gregory to the corner. Long stretch of uninterrupted ball. Cohen makes a move, draws the foul. It'll be on Omier. His first. Free throws for Cohen after we get ourselves a timeout. Isaiah Wong. Smooth stroke from the outside. He's got a quick 7. And there was one foul call. That'll lead us into free throws here out of the break. Let's get our Ford keys to the game presented by your local Ford dealer. What you got today, Deb?
Well, for St. Francis, it's their transition game, and part of that has to do with shot selection and not sending anybody to the glass. They got to get back, build a wall, and make Miami score over them. And for Miami, it's Cohen. You know, mixing up your coverages on him and playing him one-on-one right now, but let's see if they'll need to make an adjustment. Part of that is good ball pressure on the perimeter to keep him from getting a quality catch on the block.
Well, what is the coach's scouting report on Cohen? This is not some random scout. It's the coach that says he's not that athletic, he's not explosive, he's not here because of his physical tools, but, and it's a big but, he can play inside and out. He's a phenomenal passer with great feel. And he's got a good touch around the hoop.
Well, it's typical of a guy that had a late growth spurt, right? 6 feet tall, playing on the perimeter, learning how to play underneath and controlling the ground. And then you grow to 6'10", and you have this incredible skill set.
Grew 10 inches from his freshman year of high school to his senior year of high school.
St. Francis switches to a zone.
Wong straightaway 3. Rebound for A.J. Casey, freshman from Chicago, getting some early minutes today. Harlan Beverly coming off a really solid performance in 16 minutes against the Wolfpack. Again, no Nigel Pack today for Miami, and a travel called as Miami turns it over for the second time.
Miami as a team averages making 7 threes, and one of the things that Rob Krimmel told us is he needed to keep the ball out of the paint. That's why I switch off the timeout to the zone.
Said Rob Krimmel's a St. Francis lifer. He attended St. Francis, graduated in 2000, immediately became an assistant for his college head coach, and now he's in his 11th year as the leader of the program. Good hands, and it rolls underneath. He's one of 52 coaches in the country in Division I who's coaching his alma mater. There are 4 in the Northeastern Conference. There are also 4 in the ACC. Of course, Jim Larrañaga beat his alma mater earlier this season for his 700th career win. A nice milestone for Larrañaga. Shot clock winding down. Cohen just has a knack for putting the ball in the hoop.
When you talk quality of catch with him, that's what I'm talking about. Catching it on the block, not in the high post area. Up in the high post, he's more of a facilitator. He's probably going to pass into or dribble into a handoff or dribble into a pass into a screen. But on the block, he's going to look to score.
Jordan Miller still looking for his first points. St. Francis from Loretto, Pennsylvania. On the drive, nicely finished by Landon Moore, who's got a quick 9 points in the first 9 minutes.
That's a smart play because Cohen sprints to his post-up position, and Moore does a nice job of filling behind that cut. That's why he got a lane to the bucket.
Corner 3, short. Casey comes up empty. Just his 5th three-point attempt of the season. Limited minutes. You know, there's some opportunity today, whether it's Bensley Joseph playing significantly more minutes or one of these other young players for Jim Larrañaga getting an opportunity with Nigel Pack being out.
Well, Coach L talked to us about his rotation. He likes to get to 7, maybe to 8, maybe 9 or 10 by the time you get to conference play. So you keep trying to add pieces.
Heat check for Moore. Beverly coast to coast. Around and out.
I think Beverly is the player that I thought had gained extra minutes in that NC State game, because in the second half when they changed their ball screen coverage, I thought Beverly did a great job of defending NC State's backcourt.
Beautiful pass. Cohen caught it in the right spot again.
Really nice spacing, good entry away from the D. When Cohen catches it that deep, it's 2 points.
It's an 8-0 run for the Red Flash.
And they've stayed in the zone now. This is the 3rd or 4th possession, and it has worked. It's helped them separate a little bit from Miami early on.
There's the first bucket for Jordan Miller, the transfer from George Mason, coming off a 25-point game.
Look how patient he is. That's his first shot, right? He has not looked to force anything.
St. Francis definitely playing with a good bit of intensity right now. Type of intensity you need on the road against an ACC opponent. Ronell Giles making his return to the lineup. Comes up empty. Beverly the other way. Finds Poplar at the rim.
You got to communicate. You got to stop the ball, and you've got to get a defender that seeks the deepest offensive player. Miscommunication by St. Francis. It cost him a layup.
First 2 for Poplar. Now all 5 Miami starters have scored. Three ball short. Wong with another rebound for Miami.
Has Isaiah Wong had a triple-double yet? Because he's due for one this year.
You're right.
The way he rebounds and the way he distributes on the top of the floor for Miami.
Remember a couple of years ago, he had a 37-6 with no turnovers. But his career high 8 assists came in his last game, last Saturday. Corner 3, money. Poplar buries it.
Assist Wong.
Right on cue.
I think he sees the floor so well. I think it's an underrated skill about him. We know how explosive and athletic he is. We know he can score all 3 levels. I think he's a tremendous teammate.
Let's start that triple-double watch early. He's got 7, 2, and 2. But an answer from the other corner, Marlon Hargis, back after missing the last 2 games for Rob Krimmel's team. Hey, the Red Flash look like they belong on this court right now. Beverly can't connect. Red Flash shooting 45% from the field. And free throws are coming as Landon Moore continues to get where he wants to go for this visiting St. Francis team.
Well, Miami trails by 2 here in the first half. It's their inside-outside game that's working against the zone. Up the floor in transition, Wong delivers to Poplar in the corner. Miami down 2.
Hurricanes in the top 25, but trailing the visiting St. Francis Red Flash by 2 in a nicely paced opening 12 minutes. Time for the Fresh Market. Discover the best. Miami, one of the best offenses by any measure in the ACC so far.
Well, defense first for Coach L, right? And then it's sharing the basketball, which is another important part of his 10 commandments, if you will. I think this is a well put together Miami team, and they deserve this ranking that they've gotten in 25. And they have good speed on the perimeter. They've got shot making ability. When the shot clock gets inside 10, Wong can make a play for himself or someone else, so he can bail you out at the end of possessions. And he's a closer at the end of the game. He can make free throws. Of course, when we were at Media Day in October with Coach L talking about Norchad, he was very excited about him, and he has delivered on every aspect of what Coach L hoped he would bring to Miami in terms of his ability to scheme on the defensive end with him guarding 1 through 5, and also his offensive rebounding ability.
But when you ask Coach L about Norchad Omier, he never starts with his basketball skill. He starts with his spirit, his energy, his passion for life, his joy. The athleticism lives up to the billing too.
Joyfully throwing that one down. Perfect timing. Good job, Evan. Way to set that up.
A 6'7", 248-pound bundle of positive energy. And the answer from Brad McCabe. St. Francis has 4 first-half threes and a 4-point lead.
McCabe has the best 3-point percentage for this team. He hasn't made the most, but he's made a couple today.
Wong defended pretty well by Gregory, but Anthony Walker has hit a lot of shots from that range throughout his career.
See, and that's Isaiah Wong coming off the timeout, understanding if they're going to stay in that zone, we've got to beat it from the inside out. That's twice coming off the last time out that they've scored in the paint.
That's 4 assists now for Isaiah Wong. Cam Gregory rattles one in and out. Joseph tracks the miss. Wong wide open. Saw that was off the moment it left his hand. Rennell Giles Jr., pretty good defense by Omier, but Jr. stays with it. Rennell Giles in the book for the first points of the day.
Really good second effort, and what a locked-in bench over there by Coach Krimmel, Coach Krimmel, excuse me.
Omier didn't want to pick up his second foul there.
Well, they have stayed in the zone a little bit longer than I thought, but as long as it's a 1 or 2 possession game, why would you go and change?
Great defense there by Cohen, intercepting the entry pass. What do you thought about Miami's defense at this end of the floor?
Well, you see how many guys are in the stance right now? Isaiah's in the stance on the weak side. I don't think they've had a sense of urgency yet. I think St. Francis is getting what they want.
McCabe.
That was way off.
Yeah, not that time. We got 5:17 left in the first half, and we'll get ourselves a timeout. Norchad Omier, a big bundle of positive joy for the Miami Hurricanes.
Because this game's been pretty smooth waters for him right now.
Rob Krimmel was a pretty good shooter back in his day, about 40% shooter for his career from beyond the arc. Here's our Toyota on the floor, presented by your local Toyota dealers. Norchad Omier, 4 points, 3 rebounds in 9 minutes so far for Miami. Isaiah Wong leading the way, 7 points, 4 assists. Hensley Joseph, on the day he made his first career start. Corner look. And a rebound tipped, and the first foul of the game called on St. Francis. They went the first 15 minutes of the game without a turnover or a foul. I can't remember a team doing that ever before in a game that we've covered.
It's a clean game. No turnovers, no free throws, no fouls. The clock is running. And I'm going to tell you this about Miami. I keep looking for maybe a change in D or a change in the rhythm of the way they're playing. I think Coach L likes to save some stuff for the second half.
Joseph feeds the big man. Omier, no. Tip, no. Cohen's got the rebound for St. Francis. Foul in the rebound action was on Whistler Sannon, his first. Of course it was his first. It was the team's first. 4.5 minutes to play in the first half. Each team will have plenty of fouls to give as we get down the stretch.
Here comes that change. Double team.
Timeout.
Off the ball screen, forcing the timeout. That was the change that Coach L made in the second half against NC State that gave NC State's guards some trouble.
And as good as Terquavion Smith and Jarkel Joyner are, Miami's pressure and quickness on the perimeter really did fluster the Wolfpack. Well, Jim Larrañaga, throughout his nearly 4-decade-long coaching career, has valued his 10 commitments. And at every single Miami practice, you look on the floor and Miami sees the 10 commitments, and they can say them too.
The 10 commitments, number 1. We set our defense every time. 2. Pressure man on the ball. 3. 4. Test all shots, hands side without fouling. 5. Lock out, rebound, and run. 6. Run legs over 3. 7. Share the ball. 8. Penetrate the defense. 9. Take good shots from inside outside. And 10. Attack opposite boards.
I was in practice yesterday with you, Evan, and we heard them go through those 10 commandments, and every player cites those before practice begins. That's the first thing they do. There's a visual representative of what they want, and then it's a vocal representative of what they expect.
Not the first time I've asked an analyst the question, but in your mind, Debbie, what's the most important commitment of those 10?
Well, I like playing D and sharing the ball, so I might have moved number 7 up a little bit, but I really don't even want defense to be the first commandment. I'd really like it to be threes and layups. So I would switch that whole order around if I were Coach L.
I know you don't.
That's why I don't have 700 wins either.
Well, but you don't miss free throws, so free throws and that level of precision would be on there. And what a career Jim Larrañaga has had. 706 wins entering the day.
I mean, I always enjoy our time with him.
Absolutely.
I think he's bright and brilliant. The way he sees the game and thinks the game, and the way he communicates it with his players in practice, it's very clear. Not just the 10 commandments, but that is a derivative of everything that they do in the way they run their program.
He's refreshingly honest, too. You asked about Virginia. Not a lot of coaches would have answered the question. He talked a lot about Virginia.
He said, we spent all offseason preparing for Virginia. That's what his answer was.
Big block by Isaiah Wong right there.
You know what? The game is not complicated. It's very simple. There's certain concepts you have to guard. There's certain concepts you have to play in. If you can do those consistently, and then you're aware of the tendencies of your opponents, and you can build on those in the offseason. That's why we have an offseason, and that's why we have all these extended crazy summer hours and spring hours and restrictions, and the NCAA. Don't even get me going on all these rules that we have about when you can and cannot be with your players.
The 4th and 5th blocks of the game for Miami came on that last possession, getting a shot clock violation, and Jordan Miller inside with his second field goal.
So now Coach Krimmel knows they're going to bring 2 to a ball screen action. Now, do you just go 5-out motion and you don't run ball screen action? Because you've been scoring without having to play out of that double team.
Is that what you would do?
That's what I would do, yes. But this right here, because this is a tough, unless you're prepared for it, and they, see, there's his turnovers.
Yep.
2 mistakes on the double teams.
On the money, and Poplar draws the contact in transition and will shoot Miami's first free throws of the day.
The key to the clean game was not turning it over and letting Miami tilt the floor. You know, going downhill on a downhill drive. You got a freshman backcourt, too, in St. Francis. You got a lot of young guys out there.
Rob Krimmel, throughout his coaching career, has often played multiple point guards at the same time. Of course, this is a Miami team that without Nigel Pack is a little shorthanded in that department. My favorite moment of practice yesterday was when assistant coach DJ Irving was kind of lighting up the Canes from the scout team, and Jim Larrañaga said it's a good thing for you all that DJ isn't playing tomorrow.
DJ was not the best player in practice, but he was one of the top 5 yesterday.
He was. Played his college ball at Boston University. And he could still play. Going down the coaching path. Another steal for Omier. Norchad Omier! Rocking the rim for Miami. Timeout, St. Francis.
6'7", and put together. Looks like a tight end or a middle linebacker.
Sure does.
Look at him motoring down the floor. He even brushed off a little contact right there. You could have called a foul. That's how strong he is in finishing. It's a great steal to get it started.
What a journey this kid has had. He was a baseball player in Nicaragua, just spotted by a basketball coach one day. Said, hey, you want to play basketball? You're tall. A couple days later, after he asked his parents for permission, he went and played basketball. He said he couldn't do anything other than rebound and pass the ball back to his teammates, but he has rounded out his game. It's a walking double-double.
This has got to be a lot more fun than trying to hit a curveball.
I'd say so. The first ever scholarship college basketball player from the country of Nicaragua in Central America.
And Miami's definitely picked up their defense here in the last portion of this first half.
Clock winding down. Cohen not where he wants to catch it. Able to catch iron, and the rebound from McCabe hits Cohen on the dive, but unable to finish. Omier for Poplar, and he just lost it on the dribble out of bounds.
That's a 3-on-2. That's when you got numbers and the momentum starting to swing your way if you're Miami. And it's all based on commandment number 1, defense.
There's also a commitment that they'll take care of the ball, which a rare mistake from the Canes, their 4th turnover. They're averaging 12 turnovers per game. We showed you in the graphic earlier, Miami's 3rd in the league in scoring, 2nd in the league in field goal percentage. Joseph fouls the deep shooter. 3 free throws are coming up here for Landon Moore. First foul on Bensley Joseph. And Landon Moore had a great start to the season, slowed down a little bit lately. Only 7 points his last 6 games after about 15 points per game in his first 5. He's got 10 in the first half as we pause for this message from Works Nitro.
Meet Works Nitro. Powerful tools for any project with gas-like power without the gas. Fueled by PowerShare batteries to give you the power to outperform.
Moore has one more and a chance to re-give St. Francis the lead.
He's one of those freshmen in the backcourt that we were talking about for Rob Krimmel. What a good first half for the young guy. And now St. Francis back in the zone.
Not sure we would have expected 5 ties, 9 lead changes in the first half, but that's where we are.
Well, we watched St. Francis work out last night. We knew they were prepared for the game.
Second bucket for Anthony Walker. You're right, they practiced hard, but it was hard to see them matching up with Miami's athleticism and skill. But they've taken care of the ball, they've played steady, they've relied on this big man who can score against multiple defenders inside.
That is all Landon Moore, stepping through that trap, knowing the trap's coming, one stretch dribble and a good piece of footwork.
3 assists for Landon Moore to go along with his 13 points.
So now you get some confidence. Now you want to bring 2 to the ball because you know somebody's going to be open.
A lot of traffic in the lane, but pushed up and in by Walker. I've always liked Anthony Walker. He's a hustle guy and makes plays when he's playing hard. 10th lead change of the half. And Walker playing a little too hard there. Lacking discipline, bumping into the perimeter ball handler.
Watch Landon Moore. He knows the double's coming. He takes one escape dribble, and then he steps through with contact. You've got to make yourself as a receiver, and that's what Josh Cohen does. And then Walker, coming into the game, had 10 field goals on the season, 5 in the last 3 games. So he is starting to come on, to your point, Evan.
Awkward fall there for Wooga Poplar, but he did pop back up. Final minute of the half. Moore hangs in the air, scores, plus the foul. The half of Landon Moore's college basketball life. The bad news is Josh Cohen is slow to get up.
He looks at the coaching staff with the thumbs up. He's trying to walk it off. Well, things would change dramatically.
Sure would.
For St. Francis.
Josh Cohen, the most improved player in the Northeast Conference last year. He went from 5.7 points per game as a freshman to 12.9 points per game as a sophomore. He's up to 21 points per game this year. And Landon Moore making a case for NEC Freshman of the Year. He's got 16 and a half.
Now just keep in mind what we talked about at the beginning. You know, the NEC plays a lot of money games, so no one in their league but one team has a 500 record. This is a good basketball team. Their record is misleading because of the travel and the schedule they've played.
Wong doesn't get the bounce. Oh, heck of an effort by Wooga Poplar on the board. He'll take the shot. And Cohen, ankle feeling okay with that rebound. Shot clock is off. Red flash, up by 2 with the ball.
He'll get in the locker room and he'll lace that shoe up a little bit tighter after they retape that ankle.
Cohen sets his screen. Moore with 6. Working on Walker. Wong the steal. Looks at the clock. Wong all by himself. Beats the buzzer to tie the game. Heck of a half here at Watsco Center.
What a steal and what a way to finish the first half. Evan Watt.
And Josh Cohen, a confident gleam as he retakes the floor for the second half. Red flash basketball. Maxwell Land going to work. Rebound Omier.
Omier, he's a two-handed rebounder, and you're not taking it from him.
Miller baseline 2.
Good job by Coach L. First play in the second half, trying to get Jordan Miller going. I mean, he did not have a very aggressive first half, if you will. I don't think he really looked for his offense. He was very patient. Maybe they'll get him going here in the second.
He was 2 for 4 in the first 20. Now 3 for 5 on the day, 6 points. Land, the junior from Cincinnati, back to Moore, leading scorer in the game so far, misses the 3. Joseph. Poplar to the basket. And he'll shoot free throws for Miami.
Now, if McCabe had held his ground, he might have been able to draw a charge because Poplar started that drive from so far away from the basket that you had time to rotate over.
Wooga Poplar, a guy who's made a big jump from his freshman year to his sophomore year. Jim Larrañaga wishes that he were more aggressive offensively in shooting mid-range jumpers.
They do a 3-point shooting drill every day. It's the 5-minute drill. So you have 1 minute for 5 spots on the floor. The baseline, the wing, top of the key, baseline and wing. And you have to make a certain score to be able to get the green light. And Poplar's one of the better shooters for Miami, especially in the mid-range.
Yep. Full court pressure here.
Yeah, I like it. I like the change right here. I like that Miami's picking up the pace. You can't let St. Francis continue to play at their pace.
They've let Omier go one-on-one with Cohen and did a pretty good job there. Joseph the other way. Jim Larrañaga, a lot of wins in his career. He's never beaten St. Francis of Pennsylvania. Trying to do that for the first time today. Wong, teardrop, gets his own rebound, fakes it, takes it, makes it, and one.
And that's on McCabe. That's 2 quick fouls on the shooter for St. Francis. This is Isaiah Wong. Look at that stop and pull up, stays with it. Good extra effort on the second try.
All of a sudden, Wong's got 12 in the game. Full court pressure continues, and St. Francis handles it again. McCabe for 3. Stick back up and in for Land. That's his first points of the game.
Okay, this is Miami's pace right here. We didn't see much of this in the first half.
Quick shot, Wong can't connect. A good block out from McCabe on Poplar. 2 minutes into the second half. Miami started this half 7-2. Cohen lost his footing, spinning around, and Wong sneaks away with the theft. No look, Poplar, yeah!
You know, I was anticipating Coach L would save something for the second half, and it's the full court pressure that is the adjustment. Around the 5-minute mark in the first half, they went to double teaming ball screen action. They're not doing that yet here in the second.
Greggy with the shot clock winding down. Into Cohen, realizes the clock, can't connect. What's the mindset for saving the adjustment until halftime as opposed to 5 minutes to go in the first half?
You save it. You got to save something in your back pocket so you don't give them time at halftime to adjust. Sort of an element of surprise.
Foul on Cohen. Miami ball underneath.
Miami, this is when the floor looks like it's tilted, meaning they're running downhill and they're running the floor hard to score. That's how strong Omier is, that he holds his ground while Cohen tries to spin around him with his footwork.
Wong, more contact, more free throws.
So Miami shot 2 free throws the entire first half. And they're already making a second trip to the free throw line.
I really like the way you're characterizing the court because it does feel tilted right now. It feels like the red flash are going uphill.
Well, now they're not as comfortable in running their stuff, right? Miami's getting up in them. They're taking time off the shot clock. They're not just walking the ball up the floor. Now you got to play 94-50. And that's where Miami can use their speed and their athleticism to impose their will on the game.
It's a 13-2 run dating back to the end of the first half. Largest lead of the game for Miami. Felt like Moore was dribbling up a minefield there, but somehow he maintained possession with defenders reaching in. This is an important trip here for the Red Flash. Moore to the bucket. Cohen on the stick back, gets it to go, and the foul.
A couple of offensive rebounds have been the scoring here in the second half for St. Francis. This is a great take, a little Euro hesitation, Good D without fouling by Wong. Great crash to the weak side. See, Cohen goes from strong side to weak side to be able to rebound that on the other side of the basket.
See how Wong got the ball there, but Cohen was able to repossess and get it up off the glass. Rob Krimmel told us a great story about recruiting Josh Cohen as he misses the free throw. They saw him play an AAU game, and his athleticism doesn't stand out. He wasn't particularly in great shape, but his assistant coach, Andrew Helton, said, "Coach, his shot goes in." And it's a simple way to think about it, but his shot goes in.
He's really skilled. This is where you want to trap in the corner. You got two guys over there. You had numbers.
Clock winding down. Omier sees it, makes it.
I think your defense has got to live with that jump shot.
I agree with you, but it's a dagger when it goes in. Canes by 9, 4:15 gone here in the second half. Land on the drive. Good burst of quickness, but unable to finish. Joseph ahead for Omier. Deflected out of bounds. No, last touch by Omier. It'll be St. Francis ball. And the red flash will have it after we get ourselves a timeout. 13-4 start to the second half for Miami.
This
Turnover chain is more of a football thing than a basketball thing, but that would be one heck of a turnover chain. I don't know if you can employ that on the basketball court. Miami's got a 9-point lead, and Isaiah Wong was our Hardy's star to watch at the top of the show. We have a legitimate triple-double watch with 15:33 to go. He's 5 rebounds and 5 assists away from his first career triple-double.
I think he's so entertaining. I mean, this is a ticket-selling player. Like, all around the ACC, you want to go and watch Isaiah Wong play because he has great demeanor, he has maturity, he has a high IQ about the way he sees the game and how he distributes the basketball. And he doesn't make a lot of mistakes.
He averaged 29 points last week, including the 36-point explosion against Cornell in that wild 107-105 victory over the Big Red. 10 days after taking down the Big Red, they're trying to do the same to the Red Flash, but Josh Cohen has other ideas. He's now got 14.
See, Omier thought there was going to be a trap on that ball screen. And that's why you got to communicate on defense.
St. Francis of PA does have one win over an ACC opponent. They beat Pittsburgh a few years ago. Poplar for the second chance. Omier for the third. That's a tie-up. I'm scared of all of a sudden being in a tie-up with Norchad Omier.
He's got a tough exterior, and Coach L talks about his character off the floor. I'll tell you what, he is a mean rebounder. He averages 4 offensive rebounds a game.
Got multiple blocks today for the 5th time this season. Long step back. Everything's been there for Isaiah today except the 3-point shot. He's now 1 for 7 from deep. Omier is going to be called for a foul. Jamel Spearman was right there, makes the call. It's number 2 on Omier. 2 great years for Mike Bellato at Arkansas State after a season at Miami Prep for Norchad. I'm excited just for the next couple of months. You know, there's folks around the ACC that maybe haven't watched Miami yet, and you know, every week a new fan base is going to be exposed to Norchad Omier, and with how much joy he plays with, it's fun to see. Miller's trying to put his shoe back on at the other end of the floor, and a crazy sequence leads to a land and more triple.
When you go high risk and you don't get the reward defensively, you got to make them pay on the other end. That's how you get an emotional swing in a game. And I'll tell you what, I am impressed by Landon Moore.
Sure thing.
Just a freshman. He has not played like a freshman today.
Got a career high, 19 points. Wooga Poplar responds for the U.
Those are the shots that Coach Larinaga wants him taking at any time in the shot clock.
Double figures for Poplar today for just the third time all season. Miami gets a stop. Harlan Beverly, before the defense can set, pierces the paint, gets to the free throw line, drawing the blocking foul on Hargis.
So the element of surprise, right? They didn't trap it the first time. They do the second. They get a steal, Miami, but then you strike back quickly. And that's how you swing the emotion of the game. Landon Moore, what a great game he is playing on the road. And then Poplar anytime in the shot clock.
First miss from the free throw line for Miami today. Harlan Beverly basically missed all last year with a back injury. Good to see him back out there for the Hurricanes. 8-point game, 13.5 to play. First game of 3 today here on your regional sports networks. Louisville Cardinals looking to put a little winning streak together in the Kenny Payne era for the first time at 2 o'clock against Florida A&M. Cohen working inside, working hard to get to the line.
That is a well-earned trip to the free throw line. I mean, the strength to handle the double. It's a hard trap in the short corner. And he runs off a stagger on the other side to get that position below. That's 6'10", working off all that screening action.
You can make all the jokes about how he's not athletic. He's strong with the ball and he's got good hands.
The teams with the best players don't always win. Sometimes it's the best team.
15-5 for Cohen. Only player in the country with multiple 40-point games this year.
He's a ticket-selling player. Like, I can't wait to watch what they do in conference play. Like, who in the NEC is going to be able to guard him?
Great point. The tallest guy on the floor today against an ACC opponent. There's Isaiah Wong, dialing long distance.
Who in the ACC is going to guard him?
Reese Beekman, perhaps, on Tuesday night.
Yeah, that's a good one on Tuesday. Hey, Virginia is getting a much, tougher challenge against Houston defensively than what Miami's getting today. Not that Miami isn't being challenged. They certainly are.
Big block, A.J. Casey. Just his 4th block of the season for the freshman. Oh, inside Poplar. Beautiful pass from Isaiah Wong, his 7th assist.
If he has a triple-double, and we called it in the first half, Evan, we're going to celebrate, you and me.
Yeah. I think we inspired him. If it happens. Poplar's got a career high, by the way. Wooga's got 16 and an awkward fall there. Rennell Giles Jr. has been banged up. Hope he pops back up here.
Isaiah Wong just playing in space. Great vision to the rim. A.J. Casey starts the break. And then look at that feed. If you run the floor, you will be rewarded. Now we see Wong throw up the goggles on that one.
Isaiah's had a tremendous career, but he's in his best stretch ever in terms of passing the ball. He hasn't had a 3-game stretch like this. He's got 21 assists and counting in his last 2 games plus today. Wong again, maybe creating for himself this time. 2.
Yeah. Horns, we haven't seen that set, and he splits it through the top because he is low to the ground. He knows how to play that hips and shoulders game, Evan, where his hips and shoulders lower than the player that's defending him.
Quick 7-0 run, stretching the Miami lead. And they got Poplar for the foul. He doesn't like it. But St. Francis will shoot a pair when we come back. Isaiah Wong's got 19 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. Miami by 13. It's time now for the Continental Tire recap. Miami shooting 62% here in the second half. It was tied 37 all at the break. The Hurricanes have seized control since halftime.
Well, they've started to separate because they've been more aggressive, simply with their defense, their full court pressure, their ball screen coverage, and getting to the free throw line. They only went to the free throw line one trip in the first half. They've already been multiple times here in the second.
And we return to action with a St. Francis trip to the line for Landon Moore, who's having a career day. Just his 12th career college basketball game, but a promising freshman from Bloomington, Illinois. He made 114 threes during his senior year of high school, Debbie. It was a school record at Western Reserve Academy. And he's 2 for 2 at the line. He's got 21 today here at Miami.
Well, he has not looked like a freshman. We remarked about that in the first half.
Wong steps into the three. Rebound for Land. See if St. Francis can string a couple solid possessions together, get this back to a manageable single-digit game. Cohen, the catch, blocked from behind by Joseph.
That's a timing play offensively coming off the timeout. It's a good ATO, but a better defensive read by Joseph on the backside. As soon as McCabe catches it, he throws it to that back corner of the backboard.
Off Cohen's shoulder, out of bounds, says Ramey Styons on the baseline. 8th block of the game for Miami. Omier going to work on the block. Too easy. 10 points, 5 rebounds for Norchad. Corner three, McCabe got it. That's his 3rd three of the day.
He picked up those 2 quick fouls in the second. He's played pretty well without picking up another.
9 points for McCabe. Wong called for the travel. He thought he held that back pivot foot.
You know, Isaiah
Guy with
Wong,
a whistle disagreed.
yeah,
Excuse me.
we were talking about him earlier, Evan, right? About how he does not turn the ball over. He's had 3 turnovers, but 2 have been traveling. So it's not necessarily his decision making. It's just his burst of speed in the paint and his footwork.
8 assists, no turnovers last Saturday against NC State. Miami coming from behind.
That's a tough contested 2 early in the shot clock.
Wong.
That leads to a run out.
1 on 3. He scores anyway.
That's how quickly the game can swing.
Hurricanes 6 of their last 7 from the floor. Around and out. Poplar gets a piece of the rebound, but McCabe controls it. Wong contests. Cohen stays with it. And he'll shoot free throws. Into the 4th quarter of this basketball game, Debbie. Jim Larinaga looking for win number 707 in his illustrious career.
And Josh Cohen with those now 17 points in the game, but no assists. So he has done a really good job of playing one-on-one, making his free throws when he gets to the line. Offensive rebounding.
That last sequence, they called the foul on Joseph, his 3rd. Asked Jim Larinaga yesterday, if you win the game on Saturday, do you enjoy Saturday evening before you start focusing on Virginia Sunday? He said, Evan, as soon as the game is over, I'll get something to eat. If we lose, I'll go eat at home. If we win, I'll go out to eat. And as soon as the game ends, I'm thinking about the next game. Tipped out to Joseph, and that's 3. Ensley Joseph making his first career start. He's 2 for 3 from downtown.
And then the conversation led to film watching and how he doesn't think smart TV is very smart because he can't rewind where he wants to rewind games to. And I'm like, Coach, don't you just have, you know, like everything downloaded on your computer? That's the problem. I don't want to watch it on my computer.
Got the 8-foot TV. He wants to use that.
Remember those old VHS tapes we used to travel around with? I was telling, Coach and I were sharing a story about watching tape on the road, and I was saying how I used to try to beg the hotel front office to let me borrow the VHS equipment that was in the conference room and not make me pay for it. I didn't want the AV cart rolling in my room. Usually I could talk them into it.
I wonder if Josh Cohen and Isaiah Wong know what you're talking about when you refer to a VHS.
We'll see. I have to ask him next time we see him. Coach L knew exactly what I was talking about. I think I'm going to put that on my bucket list to watch some film with him. I think that'd be an incredible experience. I would really like to.
Amenable.
I'd really like to do that. I don't have like a Christmas list, Evan. I have a basketball bucket list.
Cohen at the line. Makes it a 12-point game. What else is on the list?
Oh, there's a lot of things on the list that involve basketball, people, and places.
Where's one place you've never called a game that you'd really like to get to? Joseph for three. Not this time. Long rebound, though.
Allen Fieldhouse in Kansas.
Oh, what a play. Walker unable to finish after faking Cohen out of his shoes. There's a steal. Poplar intercepts the pass up the floor. A lot of folks have talked about Lawrence, Kansas as a bucket list destination.
I've called a women's game there before. I'd like to call a men's game there.
Timeout taken by Jim Larinaga. We will take it to Larinaga and company, trying to get to 11-1 in the season.
It's bow time. Put a bow on it this holiday.
Coming up at 2 p.m. on most of these same stations, Louisville Cardinals looking to keep it rolling. L. Ellis coming off a 30-point, 10-assist game on Wednesday, taking on Florida A&M as we return to action here at Miami, and Jordan Miller gets his 4th field goal of the day. He's got 8 points.
Quiet 8 points today for Jordan.
And look, we're under 8 minutes. It's a 14-point game. Certainly not out of reach by any stretch. Miami has been the better team in this second half after we were tied through 20. Long shot won't go. Rebound tipped and controlled by Joseph.
Look at Wong sprint that lane.
Numbers. Wong fouled.
I mean, he put it in another gear because he's sensing 2 points on the other end.
We'll get ourselves another timeout. Miami by 14 with Virginia coming to town on Tuesday night. It's time for the Fast Break, presented by your local Ford dealer. A week before Christmas, no ACC conference games today, but Debbie, a look at the conference standings as they shape up now. Miami will try to get to 3-0 against Virginia here on Tuesday.
What a great matchup that is with two ranked teams in the ACC. Miami just getting into the polls. But the team I really like to keep an eye on is Virginia Tech. Sean Padula, their point guard, is one of the most improved players in the ACC. As a sophomore, he has been in double figures in every game for Mike Young's team.
And we will see Mr. Padula later today. The third game of our triple header will be in Blacksburg. But first, we'll send you to Louisville. The Cardinals looking for a winning streak after their victory over Western Kentucky on Wednesday. They'll take on the Rattlers of Florida A&M with Tom Wormy and Brian Oliver, and then Dean Linke and Mike Jaminski will be at Castle Coliseum It's a sneaky good Grambling team that has wins over Colorado and Vanderbilt.
This is a good transition offensive team in Grambling, so Virginia Tech's going to have to get back and build a wall. The best way to do that is their ability to score. They've got balanced offensive scoring and really fun to watch.
All right, for Hokies, try to get to 11-1 later this afternoon. Back after this from your local Ford dealer.
In America, the future belongs to everyone. So we built the new Ford Bronco Sport for everyone. With 7 available GO modes and a camera with off-road views. It's built for America.
Every week, see how you can take your fishing skills to the next level as we travel our gorgeous area lakes and waterways, enjoying some great outdoor adventure.
Watch Let's Fish with Barry Stokes, Thursdays and Sundays on Valley Sports Southeast.
Miami up 14 with 7:35 to go. Hurricanes playing without Nigel Pack today. Started every game this year. He scored double figures 49 times in his 54 career games between K-State and Miami. He's under the weather. Hopefully the Canes will have him back on Tuesday for Virginia.
The one thing about Nigel Pack that I recognized coming into this game was his scoring had dropped a little, but his assist numbers had gone up, and he's not a natural point guard, and that means he's getting better because he can score. So if his assist numbers, and he's seeing the second level and third level better on the top of the floor for Jim Larinaga, that's a good thing for Miami.
Single digits his last 4 games from a scoring standpoint, but becoming more of a playmaker.
No, good clear out. Another good set. The same set. ATO off the timeout, except for on the other side of the floor.
We've seen some good old school entry passes today.
Good job by Rob Krimmel's team executing. You score, you get a stop. You're trying to get this thing to 3 possessions going into the last 4 minutes.
But you got to contain Norchad Omier, and that's easier said than done.
Just a good feed. Throws it to the top of the backboard corner where only Omier can get it.
Unable to complete the 3-point play. It's a 15-point game.
Omier's a 70% free throw shooter, but his frequency of going to the line is going to go up, so he's going to have to shoot it a little bit better.
Got to take advantage of those free points. Mentioned the old school entry passes. Rob Krimmel's an old school guy, staying with one program forever. He also is very adamant that he does not like the transfer portal. He's not going to recruit transfers. He wants to recruit freshmen and develop them, like Landon Moore.
What a play right there by Moore. What a game this young freshman is having. Yeah, Krimmel is, he's a Pennsylvania guy, right? Aileen, excuse me, his wife, Alex and Tommy, his sons, are watching, I'm sure. And
Joseph for 3, knocks it in. Bensley into double figures with 11. 1 point shy of his career high.
Rob's dad was an all-time great swimming coach at Penn State. Rob grew up a Penn State fan.
Landon Moore adding to the highlight reel. Feeling it. Like a young Antonelli out there.
A young Patrick.
Yeah, that's right. Your son's got a big game this afternoon,
yeah, I'll
right?
be watching that next, 4 o'clock. Emory and Henry.
How are the Wasps doing?
They're doing great. They're playing in the Southern Athletic Conference in their 2nd year, but they're eligible this year for the conference tournament. They just moved up to D2. Thanks for asking.
That's cool. That's the 4th foul on Norchad Omier. 7th team foul, so 1-and-1 coming up here for Josh Cohen. Omier back to the bench. Josh Cohen's the only player in college basketball to score 40 in a game without making a 3 all season.
And he did it twice.
And he's done it twice. Had 40 points, 9 rebounds against Lehigh in November, and had 40 points, 9 rebounds against Hawaii. He was 16 of 23 from the field 6 days ago. Joseph, nice pass. Miller into double figures as well, but an answer from Max Land. And the St. Francis team just won't quite go completely away.
Now you gotta love the competitive fight, right? They've stuck to their game plan. Miami has just made plays. There just might be superior talent-wise, but that doesn't mean that that takes away from your game planning.
8 points now for Walker. He gets one more hoop, then Miami will have 6 different guys in double figures today. Under 5 to play. Giles to Cohen.
What a nice delivery.
23 now for Josh Cohen, passed by his season average of 21. And we were thinking, can Cohen do what he does against this Miami team? The answer has been yes. They've gotten him the ball in good spots.
It's the quality of the catch. It's down low in the paint.
Oh, a rainbow 3 from Bensley Joseph, and he's had a career day for the Hurricanes.
Bensley Joseph, this is just his 3rd game of the season in double figures.
14 points, 5 of 7 shooting. Make it 25 for Cohen.
A below the rim 6'10", skilled finisher inside.
We did see him dunk.
There are a lot of people that like to have that piece.
Yesterday in practice, I was wondering if he could dunk, and we saw him dunk. So, you know, coaches like to make the joke he can't jump over that sheet of paper. He can, in fact, jump over a stack of paper. 14-point game as we head down the stretch.
Bensley Joseph in his first start of his career at Miami. Just take what the defense will give you. Back-to-back triples to help Miami extend.
PI security. The Hurricanes have done a great job putting up a wall around the rim.
9 blocks in the game. They have 5 different players that have blocked the shot. 3 for Wong and 3 for Omier. And most of those are rotating over to help. Good help side defense.
Isaiah had 7 blocks in 11 games coming into today, but he's got a career high 3 on this Saturday afternoon. Miami trying to put this pesky Red Flash team away. Anthony Walker with his free throw would be the 6th Hurricane in double figures on a day that they did not have Nigel Pack, who averages 11 a game. There it is. Season high 10 for Walker, doubling his previous season high. He had 5 at Louisville. Certainly a guy that can't contribute when the moment is right. 16-point game. This matches the largest Miami lead. Cohen working on Omier. He's got 4 fouls, and Wong fouled Cohen, who's got a chance for a 3-point play.
I mean, he is just so good at countering double moves. Can put it on the floor.
So I got a question for you.
No assist. No assist. He's not in there to pass, Evan.
How would you compare a guy like Jaden Gardner at Virginia to Josh Cohen?
Well, bigger, longer.
Cohen is.
More physical, yes. Not as physical, no. Left, right, scoring, footwork. Gets to the free throw line.
Yeah. Be an interesting matchup Tuesday.
Yeah, it would be fun.
Omier and Gardner. 3 minutes to go. 13-point game. On the drive, heck of a take. Poplar extends his career high with 18.
The other thing, too, about Cohen is he doesn't get in foul trouble, right? You try to attack him, you try to go at him, and they do a really good job. They bring him up high, they bring him away from pressure, then they dive him back.
Wong looking up high, the tip wouldn't go. Omier being tugged down. And Omier's like, I got fouled 4 times there, but all by the same guy. And he'll get free throws.
That's a lot. Norchad Omier, shoot 2 shots.
To be the best basketball player in your country is a pretty cool thing. And Norchad Omier was named the best basketball player in the nation of Nicaragua this week by the Olympic Committee from the Nicaraguan, from the country. It was pretty cool. His parents attended the ceremony because he couldn't be there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, gotta think he's the first D1 scholarship player, but certainly not the last. He's, you know, the pioneer in that regard.
Well, Basketball Without Borders is a big program in the NBA.
And Omir's got a great future in this game. Reading some quotes that his old coach Mike Bellato said about him at Arkansas State. Bellato was an assistant under Rick Pitino at Louisville, Coach Donovan Mitchell, Coach Russ Smith. He puts Omier kind of in that category as the best players he's ever coached.
Well, that's an incredible work ethic if you're in category with those two, not just because they produce, but how they work.
Bellato also mentioned Terry Rozier in that conversation.
Good Louisville lineage.
We'll see the Louisville Cardinals, the Yum Center in about 15 minutes. Have a day, Wooga Poplar. First 20-point game of his Miami career.
He's just getting started. That 15-footer right there, he works to get to the other elbow. It's exactly the shots that Coach L talked to us about yesterday that he wants Poplar looking to take. Uses that last bounce to help him elevate into his jump shot. Miami is getting better.
Yeah.
That Virginia game on Tuesday is going to be awesome.
One more non-conference game after today for Miami. They've got Vermont 3 days after Christmas. And then it's all conference games after that. Quick turnaround. They host Vermont on the 28th, and then they go to South Bend to face the always pesky Fighting Irish Mike Bray on December 30th. Buck 45 to play. And a whistle away from the ball. Favor Ire into the game for the first time, and the freshman from Nigeria gets called for a foul. There's the upcoming schedule we were alluding to. Now, Virginia, it's possible if they beat Houston today, they could rise up to #1. They got a bunch of first place votes this past week. Let's just say Miami stays at 25. The great media relations director for Miami basketball, Alex Schwartz, reminded me before the game that 10 years ago, when Miami won the ACC, they were 25th in the nation. Duke was #1. Blue Devils came here, and Miami blew them out. I think it was 90-63. And then Miami rose in the polls, went on to win the regular season title and the tournament title. Not predicting anything. I'm just, if it's 25 and Virginia becomes #1, there's some
spinning it. You're putting a forward spin on it, Evan. I got what you're doing. I'm looking at Mike Bray's team at Notre Dame. They are dangerous, especially at home. They shoot it so well. We've got 5 veteran guys, 6 graduate students on that roster.
They run an offense.
And they can shoot it. Really shoot it. J.J. Starling, the freshman, is really special.
Well, Isaiah Wong, Debbie, has reached 10 assists for the first time in his career. He's likely to fall short of the triple-double. It's the first time that any Hurricane has had double-digit assists in a game since Bruce Brown had a triple-double November of 2017 against Gardner-Webb. Christian Watson into the game. Comes up shooting. Battle for the board won by Brad McCabe. And it's going to be interesting to see the St. Francis team, how they fare as they head into conference play. They got trip to Robert Morris, and then it's conference games going forward for them.
Well, I think Coach Krimmel and his staff have got to be pleased with really, really good portions of this game when they look at film and they use it as a teaching tool. And
oh, good defense there. Ira the block. Beverly steps into the three. Ira the rebound, and he'll get to the line.
Ira was the last guy to leave the gym yesterday after practice. Put in a lot of extra work in his one-on-one post moves, and he even stepped out to the three.
I'm glad you mentioned that.
He could be a really good piece.
It says something about the first guy in the gym and the last guy in the gym. Interesting thing from the St. Francis perspective, real quick. They're in a league. It's obviously a one-bid league, most likely. The last three teams that have won the Northeastern Conference tournament title are not in the conference anymore. So you ask Coach Krimmel, who's the favorite in your league? He's like, it's a toss-up.
Yep.
You know, we feel like we got a good chance, but everyone feels like they got a good chance.
And the challenging schedule that he put in front of his team is an effort to build habits, good habits, offensive and defensive habits, and I think they've done that through this schedule, so don't be sleeping on their record.
One of the best 3-9 teams in the country.
Well, yeah, since you put it that way, sure.
It's all about how you spin it. 5 to shoot here. Gregory, nice dish. And 2 more at the rim. Justin Liberis with his first 2, and that should do it. St. Francis was tied at the half, but Miami was the better team, scoring 54 points, making 56 points in the second 20, and then Jim Darnega doesn't like that slam at the finish. Old school. Doesn't appreciate what Zion did the other night in the NBA, and doesn't like that either. But a 91-76 win for Miami as they improved to 11-1 heading into their Tuesday night showdown with Virginia. We'll be back after this.